You know, you can't get up on a soapbox and debate with a dictator because they're rabble-rousers and they know how to work the crowd. But if you can make people laugh at them, that's what they hate. You can ridicule them. So how do you make people laugh at the villains of our modern era?
Well, yeah, I think also the testament of, like, what's the best celebration of like
do I want to see a Sinwar impression from you?
I don't think so. That's all. I was entertaining some I was entertaining some soldiers last night, and the only joke that worked because of the language, I was trying to do Trump for them. They were like, they weren't quite getting it. But then someone said, do a Sinwar, and I just went. And if that offends you, you have a problem. It's so weird seeing all these like weird Twitter monsters out there showing admiration. But that's all I got, you know, because, you know. However much of that you want to cut, it's fine. But
no, it's okay.
That's my Sinwar impression.
You know what? I'll use this
before. After.
I'll use this as an opportunity for all those who are listening on the audio platforms to remind them that this show is in fact on YouTube. If you hop off Spotify. And I want to ask them why they think it is so important to advocate for Israel. And I want you to help me prepare, okay? How I would ask this question. Well, let's start with our friend Douglas Murray. Why is it important to speak for Israel?
Well, so Douglas Murray, yes, well, you have to realize that you're fighting an enemy, Eylon, that is not only committing these atrocities, but they were absolutely elated when they did it. And I'm sorry, Hezbollah says, oh, no, we just want to fire rockets in peace. Well, I'll tell you this, I want Israel to win, Eylon, and that's what I want. I would like a world in which there's a liberal democracy in the Middle East that protects the rights of its citizens. And I care very deeply about this. But if you don't, maybe you can go back to your basement where you're from. And I can tell very much by what you've just said that there are people who just dwell in their basements like Cenk Uygur. It's absolutely disgusting. Well, good luck with that.
Cenk Uygur.
That was a good segue. Oh, so Cenk's thing is he just sort of screams sarcastically. All right, so Eylon, so here's the thing with like Palestinians and Israelis, right? It's like, oh, we're just gonna defend the IDF. It's like, whoa, I think I'm gonna break the microphone. Oh, so it's like simple, right? I hate people in debates who say right. It means they're losing. You know,
right.
So it's because that means they haven't made the point. They're trying to look for the answer. So it's simple, right? You don't make peace with your friends. You make peace with your enemies. Well, guess what, Cenk? You have to beat your enemies first, victoriously. Oh, just defending the IDF. Whoa, so this is just like ridiculous. So just you're just a propagandist. So okay, I'm hungry.
Now do Candace.
Oh boy. Candace Owens' impression?
Yeah, you need to help me for our interview we're going to have.
You're going to have Candace on? Oh, okay. She pronounces it Israel, which I find kind of weird. She always says Israel, but that's all I have so far. Yeah, I'll have to cook that one up.
Michael Rappaport.
My Michael Rappaport is like, he's great at advocating, but he always looks like he's in serious pain. She's like, Eylon Levy picked Donald Trump. God, not gonna vote for the guy. I just had surgery. Where's the apartheid, bitch? Show me the apartheid. Can I say bitch? I don't know. State of the nation. It's a great nation. That's Rappaport. Okay. Let me some water. Show me the apartheid. Benny, show me the apartheid. Okay. Who else?
Give me your best Donald Trump.
Well, look, I thought this was Elon Musk. Where's Elon Musk? I thought this was an Elon Musk interview. That's okay. Eylon Levy's a great guy. I think you got to take care of it. You know, when they asked me about the two-state solution, I said, we'll take a look at it. That's my answer. We'll take a look at it. But when I come back, I don't know when this is. It might be after, but we're still going to be fighting so strongly for the American people, for the Israeli people, and these Hamas, they have to be destroyed. We got to take them out so strongly. And, you know, there's a lot of stray cats here, and they're eating the dogs and they're eating the cats in my country. So maybe we can bring some people here to take care of that cat problem that you have there, because it's a problem. And we got to do it, and we're going to do it so well, and you know that very strongly. Eylon Levy is a great guy. Anyone else? Any other questions?
Well, in the interest of bipartisanship, I guess you've got to do Kamala Harris now.
Oh, what's the question?
Why is it so important to speak up for Israel?
Okay, well, let me be clear, and I think it's important. We need Israel. On October 7th, Israel experienced a tragedy. There's no question. And we need to speak up, not down and not middle, but up. Because as you speak up, to the sky, that is where your voices can be heard so loudly and so strongly. And I think that Israel has every right to defend itself, and I will always make sure that Israel has every right to defend itself, and I am proud that we restricted them from going to Rafah and didn't give them those 2,000-pound bombs. So I am saying one thing and another thing, and who knows? What, you think you just fell out of a coconut tree? So I hope that was clear.
Jordan Peterson.
Ha! Well, you know, I don't really like the way the question is formulated because you're... Eylon, you know, it's like, well, what's the question? Give me one question. You know, it's not simple. It's not. What's the question?
Finally.
Well, I didn't answer. Hold on. A little bit more. So it's like Israel is a shining city on a hill. You know, when you're doing that, trekking your way through the abyss, you know, it's into the abyss of hell, you know, living in a situation that's not simple. It's not. So Israel needs to stand up straight with its shoulders back and be a bloody lobster. That's what I would say, even though it's not kosher. So.
And finally, Ami, on the long list of guests we're planning on inviting to State of a Nation, off the back of our very successful debate in New York, give me your best Mehdi Hassan.
So Mehdi looks like someone sat on his face, so it's like, and his whole strategy is just, you know, he does this tricky thing where he doesn't make his own points. He always says it's somebody else. And I'm not just saying that, but every single human rights organization, UN Watch, Amnesty International Plus, Israel Haiti Plus, Al Jazeera Plus, every single organization has said this, Israel's committing a genocide. That is not my opinion. Every single organization. That's what I've got so far.
Ami, you're an absolute
And I'm wearing the pin. Thank you.
At least you're wearing the pin. He didn't. Ami Kozak, thank you very much for coming on State of a Nation.
Pleasure. See what I
and
just
go on
did.
YouTube, then you will see Ami Kozak's very elegant Sinwar impression. So tell me, your comedy since October 7th has become more Israel-centric, more Jewish-centric?
Well, the thing is when you're, you know, I think I've just become, even though I grew up a modern Orthodox Jew, like, my identity, I think everyone's identity on October 8th, like October 7th into October 8th, in the days after, like, my Jewish identity, and I think for a lot of people, like, one of two things happened. Either you became, like, ashamed or proud. It's almost like I felt like the Jewish identity was summoned to the forefront. It's almost like when any kind of grieving happens or tragedy, all the trivial stuff in life kind of melts away. And I'm not trying to say that what I do for fun and for work is trivial per se, but at my core, those core values, those core senses of what your identity is, those come forward. And I think that there was this sense of, you know, collective solidarity across the Jewish world. And then I felt this sort of sadness for people who either grew up not feeling so connected to it and felt lost. Like, what does this mean for me? Who am I in this scenario? What do I play? Because if all of a sudden talking about Israel and support for Israel and support for the Jewish community is now a controversial thing to do. I mean, the weirdest thing is somehow defending Jewish people and defending Israel was brave. I mean, that was such a strange place to be. And, like, to call that brave is so weird. You would never say, you know, speaking out against racism, you're so brave to do that. I mean, it says something more about the society as a whole than it does about you if defending against anti-Semitism is a brave statement. So my comedy, I think I felt this sense of, call it a responsibility to really, I'd been doing it a little bit, but I do comedy for sort of the general world, but also having a community that you can go inside baseball with and do stuff that you understand and can resonate with is a special relationship. So I wanted to kind of lean into that as well.
But that's important because I know many figures in entertainment have been very timid. Cowardly. If we're calling people who speak up for Israel and the Jewish people brave, then we'll say those who shy away from it are cowardly. They don't want to touch it. They know there's a personal or professional cost.
Right.
The families of the 6 executed hostages wrote in Time magazine about how they would meet celebrities, people from the world of entertainment who would offer them reassurance behind the scenes, but say, look, please don't tell anyone that we met, because they know that their fans will come after them. And as someone who straddles that world and does the insider jokes for the Jewish audiences, but also general, have you found any sort of backlash because you've been more vocal about Israel and the Jewish people? Are you building a niche? Are you boxing yourself in? What's happening?
Yeah, it's definitely both. I mean, when I first started speaking out, I think I probably, I lost like 15,000 followers on social media or something like that. Yeah, us influencers are hurting too, okay? No.
but
I lost like 15,000 followers.
This is something people don't realize, that influencers are losing followers at first. I mean, I did a video with Casey Neistat, the YouTuber in New York when I was still a government spokesman. Mm-hmm. He lost a few thousand followers just because we did a video together. Now, he's in an attitude that says, I don't care. I need to speak up for the truth. I need to speak up for my people, and they can go whatever.
Yeah, no, I just don't. I feel bad given everything that's going on, to lose a few thousand followers on Instagram is not the biggest tragedy in any way. But the thing is, it was weird. It was like, which people out there in that cross-section of fans like Jordan Peterson impressions, like Gary V impressions, and Hamas? I mean, that was just strange to me. It was strange to see that exist. And so I was happy to see them go. But at the same time, I was able to, reach a different audience of people through some of the advocacy stuff, which was encouraging. And yeah, I'm of two minds about how I cast judgment on the people who are too scared and timid to say things. On the one hand, hardcore judgmental. I mean, are you kidding me? Is it after October 7th, seeing this, like, is it really hard to see, generally speaking, who are the virtuous ones and who are the villainous ones? Can you really not tell the difference? Is that difficult? Like, that was insane to me to see that. But at the same time, I wonder how productive it is. Either you can cast judgment, or what I tried to do is articulate and give voice to those who do want to speak out, but maybe have been co-opted and confused by the language of this whole thing that's been gone on. Because blame the system, to blame the West, the patriarchy, all of these kinds of things, to attribute the problems that you have going on with yourself, or your lack of direction, your lack of core purpose, lack of sense of community. There it is right there. This is a community. It's not very attractive physically, but what are you going to do? There's your community. This is what's going on. And if you know nothing about anything, hey, don't you want to get on board with the virtuous pro-Palestinian cause? Sure, this is what we're all doing. We're camping. I'm not in class. Hopefully, I would assume they would mature out of that at some point. In the meantime, to the people who have an inclination to a better sense of what's moral here, I try to appeal to them. And in the meantime, not compromise Israel's moral superiority in this conflict, and not compromise what it has to do to try to appease those who are, so far gone and are in it for different reasons, I think, in a sense,
Ami, this has been fantastic, and I'm really excited not only to have you on the podcast, but also I think we can switch the cameras off now, because we're going to do some preparation. You're going to help me prepare for some of the next podcast guests that I have.